Dre is burning the world.
Now let's talk about riots. First, where did riots come from? Well, black people were the original victims of riots. Riots would come to your house. If they found out that you were registering to vote or you voted, they would burn down whole cities, Tulsa, Rosewood. See, the KKK would come to your crib with torches and convince you not to vote. But how convincing were they? Black people needed to vote and wanted desperately to vote. Well, they'd convince you by throwing a Molotov cocktail through your living room window or burning a cross in your yard, burning down your house, shooting up your house with shotguns, asking you not to vote. And now protests over the public lynching of George Floyd at the hands of cops have popped up around the world. And with those protests have come riots, looting, and violence. We've seen something similar, but nothing ever quite like this. Thousands and maybe millions of multiracial, young and old protesters marching, chanting, fighting for change. And then there's the agitators.
For us, we ain't asked you to do that. Listen.
Looters, thieves, anarchists, and opportunists. They do what they do, but it does look like the message is being heard. Some of the biggest companies in the world have taken a stance against racial inequality in support of Black Lives Matter. Companies like Nike, Amazon, Sephora, YouTube, and Netflix, and a bunch of others. And yeah, of course, some of them are totally phony and completely disingenuous. Now, with all the protesting and looting and rioting, Trump didn't make it any better by sending out a tweet saying, "When the looting starts, the shooting starts." That was a bad choice of words at the worst time. But in normal Trump fashion, no apology. Instead, he doubled down and threatened to deploy the armed forces on the protesters.
If a city or state refuses to take the actions that are necessary to defend the life and property of their residents, then I will deploy the United States military and quickly solve the problem for them.
Bring in the troops for racial injustice. This is why he's labeled as prejudiced and a bigot. Y'all all ask my opinion all the time. Is the president a racist? Is Donald Trump racist? Well, yeah, but I don't think he's any more racist than the next man, maybe even your next door neighbor. More than anything, in my opinion, he's just an average New Yorker, but way more narcissistic. You know how New Yorkers are. Brash, straightforward. He says what's on his mind, even if it doesn't sound right. I don't think he's extremely racist. I don't think he's any more racist than any other option you're likely to have. Flat out. I think Donald Trump is like this. If you were ops, you were ops. You know what I'm saying? If you talk about his mama, he gonna talk about your mama. You know what I'm saying? And your daddy. And then he gonna probably do a travel ban. It could be argued that out of 45 presidents, Donald Trump has done the most for the black community since Abraham Lincoln. Now the Democrats will argue against that point vigorously because it's shameful, but true. Why should we trust the Democrats? They haven't protected us. We've given them 50 years and we're in a very bad position. No jobs, no opportunities. These are the people we voted for. These are the people we voted for. It's to the point now where our vote is taken for granted, expected, as Joe Biden pointed out on his interview with Charlemagne.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump.
It reminds me of when Hillary Clinton did an interview with the Breakfast Club. They asked her, well, what's one thing that you always carry? And she gonna say some hot sauce. Some hot sauce. Some Red Rooster hot sauce. They all do that. It's called pandering to your base. See, that's why Trump says stuff like, make America great again, and there's fine people on both sides. And a bunch of other xenophobic comments that he makes. I don't know why The qualifier is a non-racist president. That's the qualifier? Good luck. What are my thoughts on policing in America and the new movement to defund the police? There should be higher standards for police officers. We don't need cops. We need true police officers, heroes, those who know the job description to protect and serve. To protect, I would love to look at all police officers as heroes and not as some punk-ass coward that can't even write me a ticket without calling for backup or drawing his or her weapon. But if you choose a career that requires you to carry a deadly weapon, then you're risking your life. And that's heroic, but it doesn't give you the right to deprive an unarmed citizen of life, ever. These cops who are our ops, right? What they do is they form a blue shield of silence and a blue shield of loyalty. They're loyal to each other. They got each other's back. That's what cops are. But true police officers, heroes, they got into it because they want to protect people. See, your job is not to get home safe. Your job is to protect and serve. Now, Dylan Roof killed 9 black people who were at church. They arrested him with no incident. They probably even asked him if he had enough leg space in the back of the squad car. But George Floyd couldn't even survive his arrest for allegedly trying to pass a fake $10 bill. There's not even a shred of evidence that suggests that he even knew he had a counterfeit bill. I'm not saying he was a hero, but he deserved to live. That's what's up. Thank you for joining me for this video. Keep an eye open for future videos. And keep an eye open for my upcoming short documentary, The Perfect Storm.